So a sovereign citizen has apparently served the Palm Beach County Board of Commissioners with a non-negotiable notice of complaint.
Let's have a look.
Viva Frei, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber, and I actually received a lot of requests to cover this topic via email and direct messaging. Apparently a sovereign citizen named Cindy Falco DiCorrado served on the Palm Beach County Board of Commissioners. A non-negotiable notice of complaint. There's a lot to break down here, but let's first start with the individual. Cindy Falco DiCorrado is a former Boynton Beach Advisory Board member who has seen her fair share of controversy, none of which is really relevant to this particular question. She has been a vocal critic of the lockdown measures, and in July of this year, she was quoted as saying the following: "Where do you derive the authority to regulate human breathing? From the Walton Sun, Florida's mask foes shrug off national TV bullies poking fun at them." July 10, 2020. Now, the drama at issue occurred during a September 1st, 2020 County Commissioners Board meeting, during which Cindy Falco DiCorrado served on the board members a non-negotiable notice of complaint. And if you haven't seen the video, I'm going to play it right now. Give it a watch. It's almost 4 minutes long, but it's worth a watch, and we're going to break it down afterwards, so bear with it. Just watch it through.
We have Cindy Falco DiCorrado.
You are served.
Followed by Michael.
You are served. You are served.
In the future, please do not approach the dais, or you'll have you removed from the chamber. Please get off here and get back to the microphone. If you have something to give to us, you can give it to the clerk or a member of the county staff.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Let me share what I just served. I just served a non-negotiable notice of complaint. This non-negotiable notice of complaint is being filed today, Tuesday, September the 1st, 2020, at the Board of County Commissioners meeting in Palm Beach County, Florida. The non-negotiable notice of complaint is to inform the Palm Beach County Mayor, Dave Kerner, Vice Mayor Robert S. Weinroth, Palm Beach County Commissioners Melissa McKinley, Greg K. Weiss, Mac Bernard, Mary Lou Berger, and Hal R. Valichet, and the Palm Beach County Administrator, Verdina C. Baker, of the following violations. You are all under violation and operating outside of your oaths of office, and both the Florida state and the U.S. Constitution. You are all acting outside of the authority of your office and do not have the governing authority to shut down Palm Beach County and mandate anything. You are all in violation of Florida state and federal constitutional law. You are all in violation of the people at large unalienable rights. You are all in violation of the following codes: 18 U.S. Code 241, 18 U.S. Code 242, 18 Code U.S. 245, 18 U.S. Code 1962, 18 U.S. Code 1031, 18 U.S. Code 1038, and 18 U.S. Code 1341 and 42, and U.S. Code 1983, 42 U.S. Code 1985, 42 U.S. Code 3617. This is an official notification of your violations. You need to understand this. No one is above the law. And legislature's law on obligation under 42 U.S. Code 1986, a duty to prevent a wrong from being done. You have not done that. And 18 U.S. Code 1621, citing the neglect to protect by individual under oath. 16 American Jurisprudence 24, Section 98, while an emergency cannot create power and no emergency justifies the violation of the provision of the United States Constitution of the United States of America. No emergency has just cause to suppress the Constitution or the people at large unalienable rights. From the 16th American Jurisprudence, Section 177, the general misconception that any statute passed by legislators bearing the appearance of law constitutes the law of the land. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any statute to be valid must be in agreement. It is impossible for both the Constitution and law violating it to be valid. One must prevail. Any court, government, or government officer who acts in violation of, in opposition of, or contradiction of the foregoing by his or her own actions commits treason and includes the self-executing Section 3 of 14 Amendment and vacates his or her office. Abusing your
time
power.
has expired.
I will say with the last thing that you have been served, and what that is in violation and your bonds will be pulled if you do not comply within 10 days. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, what on earth is going on here? The first thing that came to mind when Cindy was going person to person saying, you are served, you are served, you are served, was an Oprah Winfrey meme. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Speaking of which, the people behind me might think I'm totally crazy right now.
You are served, you are served, you are served.
And the second thing, the look on that guy's face of total surprise followed by the admonition, please do not approach the dais.
In the future, please do not approach the dais or I'll have you removed from the chamber. Please get off here and get back to the microphone. If you have something to give to us, you can give it to the clerk or a member of the county staff.
First of all, I had to look up what dais meant because I did not know what it meant. And in case you didn't know what it means a raised platform, as in a hall or large room.
Mounting the dais which had been set up for his use, he swirled a sinister cloak about him and sat down in the abbot's chair. Brian Jacques.
I just served a non-negotiable notice of complaint.
All right, I do not know what a non-negotiable notice of complaint is. Now, admittedly, I am a Quebec attorney, but I do have some contacts down in Florida, and I called them to see if they knew what a non-negotiable notice of complaint was, and they didn't know what it was either. I know what a notice of complaint is. A complaint is the lawsuit. A notice of complaint is the notice by which you are advised that you are being sued, but I don't know what a non-negotiable notice of complaint is. I suspect she means a non-amendable or unable to be amended complaint, but that doesn't really make much sense in law because complaints can always be amended. To the extent that the amendment is not tardy or contrary to the interests of justice, but typically complaints can always be amended. So setting aside this potentially problematic legal term insofar as it may be non-existent of a non-negotiable notice of complaint, suffice to say that Cindy has just served all of the board members with this complaint.
Or has she?
Now, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with the rules or not, typically service of a proceeding has to follow certain specific rules, and in Quebec, at the very least, this would not be valid service, so I had to go check the rules of procedure in Florida. And I'm not convinced that under Florida rules of civil procedure, this is valid service either. Florida rules of civil procedure. 1.070 process. A. Summons issuance. Upon the commencement of the action, summons or other process authorized by law shall be issued forthwith by the clerk or the judge under the clerk's or the judge's signature and the seal of the court and delivered for service without precipice. And for those of you who may not know what precipice means, precipice, noun, an order requesting a writ or other legal document. But let's get to the rules of service itself. Service, by whom made? Service of process may be made by an officer authorized by law to serve process, but the court may appoint any competent person not interested in the action to serve the process. When so appointed, the person serving process shall make proof of service by affidavit promptly and in any event within the time during which the person served must respond to the process. Failure to make proof of service shall not affect the validity of the service. When any process is returned not executed or returned improperly executed for any defendant, the party causing its issuance shall be entitled to such additional process against the unserved party as is required to effect service. So bottom line, and I reserve the right to be wrong on this, I don't think that this was in fact valid service under the Florida rules of civil procedure, but I don't think that this was the official service of that lawsuit. I strongly suspect that this service was done for show for the broadcast of that meeting, but there will be a formal, valid, lawful service done later or that had already been done by that time. But setting aside the procedural questions as to whether or not the service of that initial claim was in fact valid, let's get into the causes of action. Now, full disclosure, I don't have a copy of the complaint. If and when one day I have an actual copy of the full complaint, I may do a separate vlog on it, but let's just go through the headers of damage or the causes of action that Cindy mentions during that meeting.
You are all in violation of the following codes. 18 U.S. Code 241.
18 U.S.C. Section 241, conspiracy against rights. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same, or if two or more persons go in disguise on the highway or on the premises of another with the intent to prevent or hinder his free exercise or enjoyment of any rights or privilege so secured. I don't think Cindy is referencing that second paragraph, so let's just skip to the third. They shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both.
18 U.S. Code 242.
18 U.S.C. Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. Whoever under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or to different punishments, pains, or penalties on account of such person being an alien, or by reason of his color or race than are prescribed for the punishment of citizens, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both.
18 Code U.S. 245.
18 U.S.C. Section 245, federally protected activities.
18 U.S. Code 1962. 18 U.S. Code 1031. 18 U.S. Code 1038.
Criminal violation. 1. In general, whoever engages in any conduct with intent to convey false or misleading information under circumstances where such information may reasonably be believed and where such information indicates that an activity has taken, is taking, or will take place that would constitute a violation of the following sections, shall A. be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. B. If serious bodily injury results, be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. C. If death results, be fined under this title or imprisoned for any number of years up to life or both.
And 18 U.S. Code 1341 and 42, and U.S. Code 1983, 42 U.S. Code 1985, 42 U.S. Code 3617. This is an official notification of your violations.
And last but not least, 18 U.S.C. Section 1621, perjury generally. Now, I don't have a copy of the complaint to read through in its entirety, but as far as the strategy goes of throwing every cause of action you can think of against the wall in the hopes that something sticks, I don't really like that strategy. It tends to discredit the lawsuit as opposed to strengthen it. If you have a few good, strong causes of action, include those and don't include the weak ones that people might laugh at when they read them. That is my humble opinion in general. Take it for what it's worth, and if and when I get a copy of the actual complaint, we will break it down and see if these other allegations can withstand basic scrutiny. To be continued possibly, but if you like my videos and you like my content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment in the comment section below because it feeds the algorithm. If you want to support the channel, all of the support links are in the pinned comment. We've got PayPal, Subscribe, Star, Patreon, YouTube membership, merch, chicanery. I like this shirt a lot as well. But more important than any of that, take care of yourselves, check in on friends and family, make sure everyone around you is doing well, and now you know your vlog. Peace out. Booyah.